Get you. How you got your money?
Wait a minute.
Hello. Hi, Facebook. What's
How's
up?
everybody doing? My name is Victoria L. We so happy for you to be here. My friends are with me. My sister next to me. We got Miss Cherie looking nice and bright. Then we have underneath me is my sister Maggie. Say hello. Then we got my friend down here, Tanya.
Hey.
Tanya, say hello to everybody. And we have this lovely, 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 gracious couple, Kendall and Lewis. And Kendall, you saw her on the last one. Please rewatch because it was amazing. They're gonna tell us their story, what's going on with them, and any question that you may have about dating again and getting married. All right, and let's go.
Woo! So, hey everybody, it's so good to be here with you guys again, or you gals again. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I don't even know like where.
I don't know what's happening. I was like, be here at 6:30 p.m.
Look at him being coachable.
So.
Right.
That's what you want.
I didn't know we were going to be on camera. So it's nice to meet you, everyone. It's nice to meet you guys. I've heard a lot about you. I know that you guys have been friends for a really long time.
Very long time.
It really is a pleasure to be able to connect with you today, and you know, hopefully we can help, just like Victoria said, you know, help other people in the process.
And that is the goal.
You need it.
Inspire.
Yeah. Inspire.
Yeah, because we didn't been through it, like just separately, before we got together, and I think I had touched on my story in the last one, of just the ups and downs of different relationships, but we have an interesting dynamic because we've each been married twice before. So this is the third marriage for both of us. So we've been out here in these streets. We each had 3 kids before we got together. And I like to say we kind of meet in the middle.
So you know 3 plus 3 is what? 3 with you and 3 with you. How many is that? All right. That's all right.
3 plus, that's a lot. We have a lot. I'm getting a little lag on your side though. I don't know if it's my thingy.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're back. Can you see what's going on now, Kendall and Lewis?
Can I see what's going on as far as what?
Hey, you guys, are we waiting on y'all to tell us a story?
Oh,
Right.
I'll let him start.
Or are y'all waiting for a question? Because I definitely
waiting
got
for
a
a
question.
question. Yeah.
We got a question. If y'all waiting
I
for
told you guys,
Okay,
I was like,
okay,
I didn't know
boom.
what was going on. I just
The
showed up.
question is, Kendall, we heard you. We heard you. So, Lewis, tell us all about how you know or how you met Miss Kendall.
Yes, well, listen, I first learned of her through Facebook. You know, we connected on a group, you know, a business that we're both in, a career path where a lot of us kind of connect on Facebook. And so I came across her and I was like, wow, I was just really taken aback. But it wasn't more than just doing a little bit of Facebook stalking. I did do a little bit of Facebook.
We knew.
Honest.
So it wasn't more than anything like that, and maybe just liking a few pictures here and there. This is maybe back in like 2015, around there. And then around 2017, we met in person at a convention out in Indianapolis. And she actually came up to me.
Because I was lost.
Right. And I was just like trying to come up with any little excuse to like kind of stay in touch. So we did a little bit of messaging back and forth.
Also, you're not going to make your little joke.
No, that's your joke.
No.
That's your joke. No, because I was like, oh, I think we know each other. We're friends on Facebook. And she's like, oh, I have a lot of friends on Facebook.
I don't know you.
Yeah, I was like, what do you want, an autograph or something? I mean,
like I said, that's her joke. So, so we, you know, I'll be honest. I try to find any little excuse to stay in touch. So, you know, I'd like her pictures. And I think there was one year where we figured out our birthdays were really close together. And that's all it was. And then one day I received a message from her pretty late at night, actually.
Was it in them DMs? He slid in them DMs.
I'm telling you, ladies, what you need to do. If you see something that you want, you go after it. Don't wait.
I was like, oh, hold on. I know this kind of mess. No, I'm playing.
Okay, it was that.
No, so, you know, I'm in New Jersey and she's living in Georgia at the time. And she just sent me a nice, really cute message, you know, just saying that she, you know, she had a crush on me. And I was like, oh, hold up. I was like, you had a crush on you, or you still have a, you know?
Oh, wow.
is it over? And she was like, no,
Is it
it's
over?
fine. Like, I'm responding right away. And we actually had a phone conversation that same night. And we stayed on the phone for maybe like 10-15 minutes. And then we kind of just talked every now and then. We remained friends. She was really straight up with me. She told me she was, seeing someone at the time, and it was going to become more serious. And maybe about a month passed, and she did become more serious. So I kind of just like, just like laid back at that point. I stopped reaching out as much. And over the next 2 months, she reached back out. I figured, I'm like, hey, if she's reaching back out, that means that
That
something
didn't work.
might, must not
Well,
be.
it's
And
gonna
that-
You did something.
yes.
Yeah.
So at that time, I had been working a lot too. I was preoccupied, and I qualified for a free trip to the Dominican Republic as an incentive for with my company.
What?
And so I get to take somebody with me. So she called on that same day, and I was like, that I had gotten that, it was like a sign. And I was like, why don't you come with me? And she was like,
And I was really, I mean, because we have been talking, but we weren't talking like that.
yeah,
I
it
a
was
little
nothing. It was nothing like that.
apprehensive, but I said, baby, if you take me on this trip, it's gonna be the best trip you done had in your entire life.
She did. She did. And it definitely was. And I'll tell you guys something. I think coming back from that trip, we might have met up maybe one time before that, but coming back from that trip, I kind of felt something like right in the pit of my stomach, where I was like really sad on the plane ride back, and I know that she felt it too. And I was like, maybe we should like explore this a little more. And she was just like, I don't know, like, we're still far away. I was telling myself the same thing. So she basically shot me down, right? And and I was like, okay, cool. So we got back. I got back home, and I fell right back into life again, and we started talking less and less. And I started seeing someone else. Not anything like really serious, but I think that she was too. You were too. Take your face off.
Whatever. We not talking about what I was doing. I'm just listening to what you was doing.
So, but then we saw each other again at another convention later that year. And that's when we kind of both realized, we're like, whoa, there's something way deeper here. There's a connection that's really undeniable.
I think I told y'all that because like I had all the intentions when I saw him to like just dab him up like, yo, what's up, and then we made out on the street.
Right.
So I was like, that's
Kids.
not what friends do.
That's I had all the other intentions. I was like,
Right. Hello.
So but in any case, we ended up talking a few weeks later, and she's like, listen, maybe we should really give this some thought. And I didn't think she was serious.
So
I was
once
like,
again,
You didn't take her serious because she shot you down before?
yeah.
Why
And
you
also,
bringing it up?
and also, yeah, that's a big point because of that. And also because we lived so far away, and I really wasn't really that sure at that point whether or not I wanted to do. I had never really done a long distance relationship like that. So, but I kind of slept on it for like a day or two, and I was like,
That's when I told y'all. He was like, "Okay, I'll call you. Or I'll call you in
24 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who he think he talking to?"
But I know that deep inside there was definitely a big connection there. So I went with it. I just threw myself into it. I went down to Georgia, and over maybe a period of like 5 days, I stayed down there. And I just felt something, come over me. I was like, we should get married. What if I was gonna marry me? And
I'm like, okay.
You saying it like, oh, let's go get some
When you know,
yeah, it was just really.
What?
It was so basic. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have no ring. We
Yeah,
just
it
got
wasn't
rings
anything, yeah.
like a few months ago.
We had an awesome time. We're like really both adventurous. So we went down to, was it in Helen? Helen, that's the name of the place on there?
Yeah, they know
Helen,
that.
Georgia.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with the
And tubing and
the
stuff
water
like
tubing
that.
and stuff like that. So we had an awesome day. We ended up with some Mexican food. You guys are from Mexico originally. So we had some enchiladas like right by her house, and she was like going in on. I was like, oh damn. I was like, okay. So that's how it really came about. And a couple weeks later, here we are planning this wedding, and it was an elopement wedding. So like no one knew about it, which was kind of crazy. But
It's still crazy. I feel like
but it was great though, because I had the experience of being married, in a like a traditional setting before, and we both like knew that we wanted something that was going to be just for us. and where nobody else had input of like, why aren't you inviting this person? What about this person? You know?
Yeah.
And so we planned it, and it was just absolutely perfect. And we gave each other 6 months after that to move in together. And we didn't even know how. When we got married, we had no clue of like who was gonna move where, how we're gonna live together. But we're just like, yo, we know it's gonna happen. It's good. Like something's gonna happen to trigger it, and it did. And she ended up coming up here. As soon as she told me, she's like, you know what? I think it's better if I come up there. Like I was like in planning mode. I was like, all right, cool. I rented a truck. I got a flight. I went down there. I packed up her house. I put it all into that truck.
We got into full Mexican mode.
Like yeah. I was like, she never seen nobody carry boxes like that before. I was like, yo, let's go. And drove all the way back up. And
it ain't a stereotype. It's real. Yeah. I've been living it.
The funny thing is that your relationship is that comfortable that you can laugh about stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, she saw you. And then afterwards, I was living in a little bachelor pad back then, so it was just for me. And so
it was a storm bunker.
It was just for me. And I spent a lot of time working. I didn't spend a lot of time at home. That's not one of my big like values, like to have like at that point. And so when we moved again, she saw the full power of the Mexicanness, because like we were like, I made one call and I was like, yeah, we're moving.
Whole family. I'm talking about the siblings with the kids, the aunties, kids got boxes on their heads. I said, look at God, won't he do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing. Marry Mexican. Go ahead. That's the hashtag. I'm kidding.
No, I'm telling you, like my sister showed up. My sister's a physician. She showed up with her
scrubs on.
Like, yo, let's go. Let's help everybody. So,
wow.
That's pretty much it.
But in any case, it's been an incredible journey since then. It's the best decision that I feel like I ever made, that we ever made, and we just work well together. So it's really like, I think a lot of people thought it was a crazy decision at that time. Even when I told my family afterwards, I had to have a talk, and I'm like, hey guys, so someone is coming up.
Because they didn't even know. I don't think he told them about me like that.
Yeah.
So at least my mom and some people kind of.
Well, my brother knew, and then my.
But everybody else. So if your parents don't really know about that person, like, oh yeah, by the way, so I think it was like a little bit of friction or whatever, but that's pretty much it for the gist of it. This is my dog who won't leave me alone. So.
What kind of dog is that?
Huh?
I know the dog named Barbara. What kind of dog? What kind of dog is that?
It's a Shih Tzu, and she just literally just will not leave me alone right now. So
yeah.
So with y'all, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
Sure.
With y'all getting together so quickly, right? And we know no relationship is perfect. With it being so quick, have you had any friction just amongst you guys where you had to learn quickly to adjust to each other versus this is just the great, perfect ride, we're connected?
I'm saying no, and she's saying yes.
Right. I'm like, oh, we're about to air it, because you can't be having people think we live this cartoon life.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
it is.
I mean, it's great because we are adults and we decide to communicate a certain way. I feel like it's fair to establish those communication ground rules from the get-go. And when you're not like in the heat of a moment or anything like that, you can always kind of fall back on that. But yeah, it's like with any relationship, friendship, because I think more than anything, we're friends.
But I want to make a point real quick though, because it was quick, but I did see her interact. Like, so when I went down there, I saw her interact with her mom and brother. And even though it was quick, I feel like there's a lot that you can learn by seeing how she gets along with her mom, her brother, and her family. And when I saw that and how they just like rode for her the whole time, and I was just like, it was a good indicator for me. And also, one time that she came up, I actually, that same day, it was like the first time that we had hung out in person. I took it to my brother's birthday party with me at Dave
and his
Buster's.
family. I mean his kids.
Yeah, my kids were there, and I was like, I don't know why I'd never done that
exactly,
before.
Victoria.
Yeah. And
I mean, you don't even know, but okay.
No, I've been in relationships before where I was like, no, I don't try to rush into like, having anybody like that, but there was just something there that I couldn't really explain. And I just felt comfortable.
It's more so because of the long distance, which
True.
we spoke about this last time. I think some of you ladies are for it, maybe some are against it, but I like the long distance in the case of us because you are forced to have phone conversations. It's not just, pull up
Yeah.
when type situation. You have to get to know that person. And so you do gather a lot from that. So I think that's why he felt comfortable.
Yeah, the phone
bringing me with the
conversations are
kids.
almost like a date. It's almost like going on a date. When you're that far away. So it's funny how it kind of worked out like that. But there has been friction, especially just with like culturally too.
It's mostly the cultural difference.
Yeah.
Because his Mexican family don't leave.
No, when they
No, I'm saying
the
I'm talking
problem
about
is
when
that
we have gatherings and
she
stuff
doesn't
like that.
she doesn't know how to party. You know what I mean?
Because I don't know how to party. They don't know how to go home. So it's
because they understand the real idea of family.
Yeah.
I would give you them props. That culture is outstanding.
Oh yeah.
Working, they work, and it's all about family.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, so when we have gatherings and get-togethers, my family will stay until the wee hours of the morning. So like, and it was even worse when I was growing up and my parents were doing it. Like we would literally see the sun come up sometimes, but she's just not used to that. She's used
Go
to
ahead,
like
Kanye, because I already know.
11:30, 12. We going to bed together, and I'm just like.
And 11:30 is late for me, by the way, because I'm like 10 o'clock. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, my eyes are getting a little low.
Yeah. So that's been one point of friction that we're still kind of like working through.
Navigating.
It's still not perfect. There's been a lot of like understanding on both sides though.
Yeah. Because we done been through a lot. You just when you done been through all the marriages, all the kids, you done seen a lot of different scenarios. So I think our mindsets are similar.
So what made you, I guess, because some people they date and say, oh, I don't never want to date again. Oh, I don't want to never try again, or whatever the case may be. Was that innately in you to want to try again, or did you meet someone that wanted you to try, that made you feel like you could try again?
For me,
good question.
That's a great question. So for me, y'all know my second marriage, like I was married to Jeremiah. We all went to school together. And to be honest, I was married to him for almost 10 years. We together 13.
10?
Yeah. That was a long time, right? And but I have to say it was a beautiful marriage. It was a beautiful relationship, and that gave me hope to do it again. Of course, when you're like so close to the scene of the crime, like you not getting married again, but then, or you don't know. But then once I made a decision, like, you know what, I actually like being married. I really do. I like the thought of having like a rider, just kind of like somebody that you can build with. It did change my perspective on marriage though, that you don't just marry for love, you marry. Like I mentioned Game of Thrones last time, you combining houses, you joining houses. And so we have business meetings, like we run our relationship like an organization. So I think that forces a lot of communication and just to make sure that we stay on the same path.
I was the opposite. I had completely written it off. I was like, because I was married before twice too. And for me, it was more like I met someone that made me want to do that again. So she was kind of in the mode where she wrote it off for a little bit, and then she was like, no, I do want to be married. I do want to meet someone that I want to marry.
And I started preparing myself for him.
For me, it was the opposite. I was like, man, I have, children right now. I'm just going to focus on, doing like me focusing on my personal growth, on my personal development, my growth as a person and in business as well. And, just not even think about it. But then when I met her, it was a completely different story, that it really made me want to do that again.
Okay.
Right, same time.
Okay. So both of you, this is your third marriage. So we often talk about, I feel like, is there an innate, like, I don't know if it's risk taking or you're willing to just be vulnerable and try again. Is that like something you guys both, because I know Lewis did, right? It was somebody that made me want to try, but really when it's the third time or even the second time, like something within you, maybe it's just something makes you want to try or risk it or jump in or do something.
What? For me, I really feel like life is too short. Life is too short to be around people you don't want to be with, to be doing stuff you don't want to do, having experience you don't want to have. Like, and I feel like, God forbid something happened to him or myself, I would want him to move on and find love again, because like it's such a beautiful experience to have love like that. It really is. Like, and if you find the right one, and you just learn so much. I learned so much from my relationship with Jeremiah. I got something from every, like, my marriage with Jeff. I've gotten so much. I'm learning so much about myself. I'm learning so much about people and just everything. So I kid with him, about how I would haunt him if I died and he tried to be with somebody else. But in actuality, no, if anything happened, I would want him to move on and be happy, and the same thing, because I love him wholly as a person, like just his whole being, his whole spirit, and that's part of that is just happiness. I want him to experience a great life.
No, it was more the adventurous thing for me. I don't know. I was like, I feel like we're both Libras, and we're kind of like just like, I don't know.
YOLO.
Yeah, but
I just realized that y'all are both Libras.
Yeah,
4 days apart, girl.
Libra. I'm a Libra. Okay,
924, 928. And for me, you know what really turned me on was that when I would say like little things that most people would think were crazy, like, yo, we should get married. And she was just like, yo, let's do it. You know? And I was like, oh, she all about that risk too. Cause I'm like that, I'll just like dive into something head first. And when she was like, absolutely, I was just like I was like, oh, okay, she's the right, like everything fit, everything clicked. So I really like that adventurous side of her, and the fact that she's just really willing to throw herself in.
And whatever you deal with the consequences later. That's anything in life, though, yo. That's business ventures. That's y'all doing this show. You throw into it. You just like, yo, whatever we get from it. Of course, we want success to blow up, but ultimately, it's about the expression and how you're branching out and you grow from it. So why not do it? Experience everything you can.
I think, well, I will say this about you guys, because your situation is a little scary to me, but I'm just saying, like, scary meaning outside of, I can't see myself doing it. Doesn't mean I don't want to, but I'm like, because
I don't think it's for everyone, Victoria. I don't.
You're risk takers. I see it as you guys are risk takers. Like, some people are risk takers. Some people like to take risks.
I like to calculate whatever risk I'm gonna have.
Right.
I like doing
Greater the risk, greater the reward.
No, it was scary for me too. Like,
oh, definitely scary. Like me moving up here. I mean, it's not that I never had those second thoughts, but I'm just like, you know what? I committed. But I mean, if things went bad, like, let's say he woke up one morning and decided to hit me, I'm like, I can just kill him.
Right. It's almost
so like, I'm like, and nothing's ever permanent, like that, right?
I mean, I'm thinking, like, could it be like the peace outweighed the risk? Like, you had peace with that decision.
Absolutely.
That outweighed all the thoughts of what if and whatnot and all that, which that is the key, the peace. Yeah. There's no peace in it.
But when you find somebody you click with.
But the other point, the other point is too that, like, I feel like we've reached a level of maturity. We're both 38 years old.
Whoa, don't be putting on my
Really?
I mean, you already know your age.
I'm gonna pay for that later. But in seriously speaking, if this happened 10 years earlier, I don't know if it would have been the same, because there's a different level of maturity, that came with it. So,
not even just the ages, though. I think the experiences that we've gotten up to these ages. I mean, all the divorces under my belt. I mean, if Kevin Samuels had measured my value, he would be like, I'm used good. I'm like,
she losing value by the second.
I'm at zero. He said I'm losing value by the second. So
I got a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I know y'all talked about, and we've had a show on this before, y'all, different cultures. Mm-hmm. How was it? Well, Marquita, we've known you dated outside
United Nations.
That's what she do.
So, Lewis, how was it dating outside? I mean, have you done it before?
Yeah. My girlfriend throughout high school was Black as well, and so
it's not new.
I had dated outside, before as well.
Okay, so you were open to dating different races, dating different cultures. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have either of you dated outside your race at all?
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't. I have one. I've had a couple dates with outside my race.
Okay. Cherie?
But nothing serious. Nothing serious. That's what I was like, a couple dates. Nothing long term or anything.
You know what?
We're not close to it. We're not close to the idea.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, as long as like I just always remain open, just for the simple fact, I always use the analogy, you don't go to an all you can eat buffet and only eat chicken wings. You know, you taste and sample everything and just kind of figure out what it is you like. I happen to like Mexican food. This is a season for Mexican.
Right. I mean, y'all do it, I want to say so effortlessly, but y'all are definitely risk takers because you have blended so much. You blended, your children, you blended your cultures, you blended, your families coming together, your households. I mean, y'all had a lot of blending.
In a short period of time.
Yes.
Damn.
Right. So sometimes I'm just amazed that y'all have done it again in a short period of time. So seeming like it was effortlessly, although I know it's a lot going into it, but I think like you have said, that communication has always been key because I don't think anybody could blend so many things together, and it come out still great and you're still enjoying, your first year. Oh, I think y'all don't.
Yeah.
Are you on a year yet? I don't think you're a year yet, are you?
Are y'all a year yet?
It's a year and some change.
It's a year. It was a year. It was
that went by fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That did go by fast.
It was a year in September.
But we look at that too. We had this conversation. We just kind of like, really wake up in the morning and look at our house. And I look at how different my life is, our lives are. And just
Big
like,
time.
holy crap.
I think that we were both in really different positions last time. And it wasn't more so looking at our situations at the time when we first got together. It was looking at the possibilities.
Oh, that's good. You better.
That is good.
It wasn't more like the situation that we were in. It was looking at the possibilities, and we knew that getting together would only make us stronger.
Yeah.
If we came from the right point of view.
Join them houses.
You know what I'm saying? So it was and it was easy. Like I felt like it was easy to blend it because like when we got together, I'm like, all right, your mom is my mom, and that's how she treated my parents, and my kids, and that's how I treated, our children, which is like,
we don't even
like we don't even differentiate. It's just like,
that's my son.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my daughter.
And that's how it is. Those are my bonus children, but we don't even talk to them like that. They're just all our kids, and I think that they see how we treat each other, and they kind of like feed off of that. And there's no fear, and I've been in situations before where, there has existed that fear and kids feel that tension. They're like, hold on, everything's not 100% here. But with us, they saw that and it's like, boom,
I think it's genuine too. Like they see, I've always, the having Christina and Kyla and Jaden, I've always just wanted to be an example. So even how I carry myself maybe on social media or do things, you ain't never gonna see me taking like ass shots or nothing like that. Just not how I roll. Because I would not want my daughters mimicking behavior like that, looking like IG models. So it's like a certain type of class. He has a similar mindset. I see how his children, when we first started dating, related to him. They have his mindset, which is similar to my mindset, how I raised my children. So that's a very easy blend. I really, really want to harp on the fact that for those on the ladies who have children on the call, when I would say get with a guy who has kids, only for the fact that you get to see how he gonna treat your kids. That like, because if he doesn't, and I would say this for men who have kids, don't get with a woman who doesn't have them, because you want to see like.
Yeah, that was.
I think that's very important.
It's actually an advantage. A lot of people think it's a disadvantage because it's like, it's baggage that comes with it. But it's actually an advantage because you get to see their level of maturity.
And you get to see how they co-parent. Like he wasn't talking a lot of smack about, his previous relationships or nothing like that, because I'm like, that's how he would communicate about me, so there's a respect there. You just got to peep stuff like that, how he treats his parents is and how they relate to him. That's all stuff that made it easy to blend, to your point, Tanya. And we have blended a lot. And
because there are situations, where it doesn't fit as easy, and you have to listen to your heart and try not to force things in those situations. And we're like, something's not right here. It was always right with us.
Yeah.
So
just crazy though. I look at that. We wake up, I'll be like, man, it ain't been 2 years. How did I get here? Jesus, I'm happy.
So Lewis, on a funny note, how'd you know she was gonna receive that kiss after all them rejections? How you know she was gonna kiss you back? How you know she wasn't gonna be like,
I had to take my chances, man. Like I was like, I think that she knew that where I was coming from though, because we communicated openly. I told her why I was hesitant. I told her why, and we communicated about that. So I think that she knew my heart was in the right place.
He's just a good dude, though. Not a perfect dude.
No,
I'm not a perfect woman, but you can tell just a good heart, like you really can. And by the way, I was thinking before I came on here that it's a lot of men that are looking for women, like, we see what's projected on like social media, whatever like that, but it's a lot of men that's out there just looking for like a down ass woman, just a good woman. So it's like, don't get discouraged about that, because stuff, it doesn't last. None of that lasts, and they do want somebody to hold them down that they can build something with and laugh and chill. So
it's easy to be discouraged.
It is easy to be discouraged. I mean, Jesus, I was living in Gainesville trying to figure it out, that dating world, but I did keep hope. And I think I told you guys this, some people might think it's crazy, but I would be in the mirror in the morning brushing my teeth, having conversations with him, his aura, like, oh, okay, we talking about what was happening with our day, but that would keep me going. Like, I know I'm not married yet, but I just didn't want to get too comfortable being single. I knew what I wanted, so I had to start kind of envisioning me having dinner with a husband and laughing, and the kids and everything like that, how they would respond to him. And it's been a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful. Like, his parents actually live with us, and so it's a full blended family. To your point, yeah, it's a lot. I'm living this full Mexican dream.
Honey, that's another. She said the full Mexican dream.
Right. I have a question. Hold on one second, really quick. I have a question for them too about, since you're blended, how is it blended with the baby mothers and baby fathers?
Well, it's a little bit, I'm like a little bit removed from Christina and Kyla's dad, because like, there isn't much interaction there on my part. And plus they're still in Georgia. And with Jeremiah, it's always been great. Like, I met Jeremiah as soon as I got down there.
Okay.
And he's always been,
yeah, I'm like, he's Jeremiah. Like, everybody knows Jeremiah.
He's never been any different. Like, he's just the same way. Cracking jokes and,
Exactly. That's him.
Yeah, that's him. Like, I love
that's him. That ain't nothing else.
He's like my brother,
Yeah. So that was good. I think that it's more involved on this end because there is a lot more involvement, and that brings up another big point, because I had gotten discouraged even and coming from a guy. I felt like at one point in my life I was like, damn, I envisioned the type of woman that I wanted to be with, and I was like, is that type of person going to be really willing to come together with me right now? Because of I felt like I had baggage. It was like, it's easy to have like negative self-talk because and I told her from the jump that I had three kids, and I had from 3 different relationships, 3 different moms. So it's a lot. It is a lot of back and forth, and but we handled it really well.
I did. I was like, oh, okay, so that means somebody he attractive. Somebody liking him.
Yeah, but
no, I'm kidding.
She didn't judge.
I didn't judge him or anything. I'm like, because it's like anybody, it can happen to anybody. It's easy to get caught up in that situation. And to me, not even trying to be funny, I felt like that would loving him for that would increase his loyalty to me anyway, if that makes any sense. Because like he already said, it would be like, he felt like it would be difficult for him to find someone. So I'm like, but he's dope anyway. So it wasn't like I just did it for that. I'm like, I mean, he's great. I would be the one missing out, to be honest, because my life has been amazing since he's been in it. So, but I think because of that, this just made it stronger and better. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think that's the one big point is like that negative self-talk could really take over you because we all have something, that we could see as not advantageous, but there's always something out there for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I better preach.
Okay.
Oh, for me, being a teen mom, I held that on me, being a teen mom and having the girls so young. I don't have a degree. I was, man, I don't have who would want me like these guys, and like it's all this. Who am I measuring myself up against? If I'm like,
right,
I go?
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, like the second divorce, and it's like you didn't have 2 divorces on your belt, and you this young. I mean, I really Kevin Samuels evaluated myself, and I just had to wake up from that. Like legit, don't do that. He's talking about some he did too. Don't do that. So and I think that's a big reason we have a YouTube channel now called
Yes, ready. Go ahead.
Because of all the blended family stuff that we
plug it again. What's it called, Marquita? I mean,
Blendedly is Blendedly on YouTube. I'm sorry. And so we have a YouTube channel.
Put it in the chat box.
We talk about that. And all the things of how we want to inspire couples to basically just go out there, take the chance, and don't care about what nobody else thinks. Yeah, you cannot live 2 lives for the price of one. You got to go for you, because I'm telling you, we do not do things conventionally. We don't, because we don't care.
And people told us, like, you sure you're making the right choice?
Y'all
like,
crazy.
we're gonna be behind you, but this sounds kind of crazy.
As long as you're okay to deal with the consequences, I say go. Like Therese said, perfectly, the piece of it outweighed any other risk, because I'm just like, I don't know, something about this says that I can figure the rest of it out.
I wouldn't imagine myself in any other situation like that. Like, I'm so glad that it happened. But no, I'm serious. I'm like, I look at our life now and where we live.
Is it not amazing?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's so dope.
It happened like that. It feels like yesterday.
I'm so excited. I get so giddy.
Kendall, you didn't say anything about have you been in contact? Well, I'm sure you've been in contact with the baby mothers of your bonus children.
I have. I've been in contact. I mean, I have to. I mean, I think they do a great job with the kids. The kids are great, but I don't have like extended like communication with them. One I might be closer with than the other, and some are
different personalities.
Yeah, it's 3 different personalities. So
I'm sure it is.
Y'all know me. I rock with whoever want to rock with me. If you don't want to rock, look. If you don't want to rock with me, it's okay. Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so I just keep moving. But one thing I can say, I'm a love them babies, so it ain't got nothing to do with. I always feel like, because I have kids of my own, you can never have too many people that have your kids' best interests at heart, that love your kids, and so I'm always gonna vouch for that. And that's it. Like I love my babies, all of them, all 6. I love my babies and Barbara.
Oh, and Barbara. See, that's the problem, Barbara. That's the problem.
Well, y'all didn't hear Barbara. Barbara was agreeing.
About to say in the background.
I know. People are just really enjoying this. They're loving it. Jason wanted to hear this story. So everybody is definitely loving the testimonies. And one thing, as I heard y'all talking about your experiences, and Lewis was saying that negative self-talk, everything that y'all thought was negative led y'all to each other. So I'm taking away from this, everything that I might think is negative or things that I'm going through or whatever, it's leading me right to whoever that person I'm supposed to be with. So that's awesome. For the right
person, because let me tell you, that stuff that was negative that I would talk to somebody else about, they would only pile on and affirm the fact that I thought it was negative. He is one, and like they judge you or whatever.
And it ties into everything with finances, with like, just everything. Because, everybody has something going on. And when I was like, yo, this is what's going on, I never once felt like she was like, oh,
it's always solutions.
You know what I mean? Like, no, don't worry about it. We got this figured out.
Yeah, I'm like, and as soon as we connected, it's never been well, he got to figure out what's going on with him. And it's like, no, when you join houses, you join houses. So I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah,
so we tackling it together.
That's one big thing we did. As soon as we got together, we actually combined everything. You know, we combined our accounts, we combined, you know, our phone accounts, we combined everything. So I felt, from my end, I felt like, wow, I was in marriages before where that didn't happen, you know, for the whole time that I was married. And I felt like when we did that, I was just like, you know, this is
that's when you know it was real.
Yeah, there's a commitment. There's a real commitment.
He gave up that Netflix password. I said,
Right.
He loved me.
Breaking laws together.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, when he put me on that phone bill, I was like, okay, so we in it. We are in it.
That's something we definitely need to come back around and have y'all back on to get that side of y'all relationship. Like, we hear the testimony and it's like, yes, I love it. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Gritty, right?
Gritty.
Okay.
I mean, if you will have, I mean, you know what I'm saying, if we will have y'all to come back, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm already saying
the real
together for our weekly meetings.
Yes. So we have weekly, sometimes bi-weekly meetings. But it's I told you, it's an organization. Like,
it's
we co-owners.
1, 2, 3, 4, and this is what we're touching on.
To-do list, where we at with these goals, tracking where, you know, and that's just, and it's a check-in. But it's not something like that's hard pressed like when you're in corporate. It's more like, you know, gratitude, starting out with the things that are great that we're thankful for this week. You know, he always wakes up with like the most beautiful smile on his face, and just, I mean, I think we both look at each other and just like, man, this is a dream life. Because of, I think, always remembering where we came from. I remember it wasn't because it wasn't that damn long ago, if I'm gonna be honest, because we met 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it's really fresh. But remembering, I just always wanted something like this.
There's periods of anxiety and like down, like, you know, there's periods where she's been down. Like when she first moved up here, it was tough.
That was real tough.
But I knew from experience that as guys, what we try to do is fix stuff a lot of times. And we're like, yo, this is what you need to do if you're going through this. And I did the opposite of that. You know, I was just kind of like listening and just saying, like, I'm here for you. I know it's tough, but we're going to get through it together. You know, and not trying to fix or
and let me be in my funk.
You know, and but she's done that for me too. Like COVID really, you know, did a number on me because you know, it changed a lot of what I do. So it was just, you know, we just work well together, you know.
Find your person. You'll know though. You'll know that person that makes whatever flaw you think it is that you have is beauty. Is you know, you looking like, oh, you think that's a flaw? Look what I got. You know, you're kind of comparing these war stories, whatever, and just realizing that it's life. Nobody can get out unscathed. Like you gotta, especially for you to live a beautiful life, man. And so I just say, like, the adventures, I really want to hear about the dates and stuff we was talking about when the last time I talked to you. I was like some little love stuff going on.
3 weeks ago, honey.
I didn't mean nothing to changes. So
it's been some changes, Kendall.
But it always is. You got to change to change. So
right. But I will say one of the things that you have, speaking on the last show, that we kind of say now is like, okay, I think you said social experiment. And we say that all the time. Okay, well, what does he have that I do like? Okay, well, I'll put that right here. I definitely want that in my partner. Okay, right. What is it that he has? Boom, definitely want that. So I mean, the dating game is definitely, girl, it ain't changed. Okay.
Are y'all on, like, are you on Bumble? Are you Facebook? I think Cherie, you said you don't do no kind of.
No, she
don't. Ain't on that, honey. Cherie on her. Cherie on her. She gonna have to meet her husband, honey, wherever she finds as an outlet outside of that house.
Yep.
I talk too much, so I'll find somebody to find me. Don't worry.
Stand on there.
I've never done.
And I'm on everything. You can't tell me
I was
that.
I was swiping.
I'm on everything. Although I did put a little pause on some of them because I was like, ooh. And sometimes, you know, all them swipes, honey, can get me thinking, Lord Jesus. It's a mess out there. You know, you do got to weed a lot. You know, we got to get all the weeds out.
You
But
do.
after a while, I was like, "Ooh, I got to put y'all on pause because the riffraff.
It's too much. It's too much.
The riffraff is coming back up. I'm like, people starting to feel themselves. They know summer's about to come out, so they ready to be out. Oh, summer fling! I need my summer fling, boo.
Yes.
Not over here. So I'm just like, I had to put a couple people on pause. I kept a couple.
Yeah, you
open.
got to.
Got to.
But you know, I ain't on no paid websites. I can say that.
Well, I mean, me as far as paid websites, me and Match have a love-hate relationship. So
Right.
now we're on pause until they bring me back for a discount. Okay.
Hello.
Exactly.
No, it's not like Netflix or something where you can just send your email,
No.
log in. Okay.
Be on pause until it's special. So whenever there's the next spring break, I bet you it's a special.
Right. But we definitely enjoying it. I will say this, I am enjoying the dating game a lot more. So, you know.
I love that.
It's funny.
It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to laugh a lot, have fun, have them nicknames to them dudes, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all talk to each other because his nickname was Jersey for the longest, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you should and always keep your energy level, listen to the music that gets your spirit going because it just increases your aura. It attracts that magnet where people who are like-minded, even when you're in your car, like when I'm in my car, I am Beyonce.
Hello.
Yeah, but I'm bringing that energy wherever I go, and people are attracted to that. They feel it, and they want what you have, all of you. So you'll bring them. Real man, he right there.
Real man,
They be looking on your page now. I'm telling you, they looking for you right now. So.
He coming. This is the year. This is the year.
We need them to get the boldness of Lewis at this moment. We need them to have that boldness.
Yes, definitely.
For some reason, I told somebody, I ain't gonna cover him, but I told him, he probably watching. I told him it's 2021. It's time to be bold. Why are you hiding? If you got something to say, just say it. What's gonna happen? So
they can only say
wait,
no.
Are you being bold too? Because
I am being bold now, but I wasn't before. But I'm being bold. I mean, yeah, kind of.
She got a little sprinkles out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit. There's a sprinkle here, there. She
got a little sprinkles out there when she's trying to be bold.
Yeah,
she definitely stepping out of her comfort zone and being bold. I think this pandemic has made us step out of our comfort zone in a sense because you have to find new ways to date, new ways to communicate, new ways to try to figure out a safe date or whatever that's supposed to look like.
I want to ask my husband something. I want to ask him that because there is a boldness, but do guys like the boldness? Like, how did you feel? How did that make you feel? Me sliding up in your DM?
It's not something common that happens. Like I could tell you that. So I was kind of just responding and kind of just playing it as it went. Like
I didn't ask you. I said, did you like it?
Oh, I liked it.
But did you like it because it was her? I mean, like if somebody else would have did it, would you have liked it? Like, or did you just like it because it was?
It depended, because I felt like it was that reciprocity there already. Like I had already seen her page, I had seen her pictures. I was like, oh wow, like I was already really impressed,
interested,
and attracted to her already. Even if it was just based on what I saw on Facebook, I was already attracted to her. So when it happened, I was like, no way. Like I was just like, no.
Did she raise your bubbles
right there? I was like, oh God, he on.
I was like, hold on.
On that late night tip.
Close the app, open it back up, see if this is real. And yeah, so it was really welcome, it was welcome.
But I'm asking because I can be pretty masculine, but I'm thinking, putting my guy hat on, if it doesn't happen that often for guys, you're a quality woman, you see a quality guy where he might like the picture of yours, you might like the picture of his, so you're like, okay, just a little flirting here. I don't see the problem with sliding up and say, you know what, I've noticed you, and like I just want to say you're really a attractive guy. Like, I just want to stop and say that really attractive guy kind of got a little crush on you, And I think if they don't get that often, that's flattering to them. And a lot of men don't step up to women, probably for the fear of rejection, because they've had it, that's a big fear. But so you're already letting them know that you ain't got to worry about that with me, baby. I didn't Facebook is really good because you get to see what you're dealing with. You get to see how they comment on their stuff. You get to see like how they react, and how people are commenting to them. So I think there is a flattery. Now, don't abuse it, but if there is a interest, a genuine interest, I would say err on the side of being bold and go get what you want and let the man know, like, yeah, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I like it, but then again, you guys already know I'm like the risky type too. So
I thought you was about to say, you get a lot. You was getting a lot of hoes.
Yeah. No.
Inbox.
I mean,
I was about to cut the meeting short.
Yeah, no, I mean, she'll tell you I'm real
flirty,
not reserved. I'm real flirty. Like it was like 2-3. I look back on the messages now, and I'm like, oh damn, I was sending that kind of message like 2-3 weeks after we just started talking.
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was doing the most.
Like, yeah.
But I'm the same way. So I thought he was like a little choir boy. And then we came with that. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm about to turn this dude out. That's not what happened. So I'm just being real. I'm just really being real. Like, I thought he was some like sweet goody two shoes, and no, he definitely can hang with me.
Make a party.
Yeah, but that's good though. You want somebody to swag match your swag. So I don't have to like really teach you much, but those are the experiences that we've been through. Like attract like.
Good.
We appreciate you guys for that. We love your spirit, and the fact that Kendall, found someone who matched her spirit exactly is phenomenal to me. I think it's a great thing. I think it's one that I applaud, I love, I appreciate, and I celebrate. Especially when now it's like, okay, people are not open to interracial dating. Some people are, some people are not. But you said, bye, y'all. I'm going to do what makes me happy, regardless of anything. That's the way, Kendall, you've been dating that way since I've known you. So,
absolutely. I think, yeah. So, I feel like I was born into this life, but yes.
I mean, she just was, So, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. You guys, I think Cherie might have said it, that we're going to have you on again to give us another round, because we got some other questions, but we don't want to keep y'all too long.
We would love to come on again. Thank you so much. We love you guys too. We really would, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate that. I didn't know that.
We need some of that male energy.
We do. We need the marriage energy too.
Yes.
The marriage energy and the leap of faith enery. We need
risk taking. Yes.
Yeah, we don't need I don't give a damn about the consequence energy. We
right. That's what we need. We need that boldness.
We need that. Okay? So maybe we'll start dating differently when we start believing that way. So anyway, we love you. We thank you. Everybody who watched us. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Don't forget to follow us.
Thank you, everybody who's watching.
All the social media. The Waiting Game Chapter 35. Don't forget to look at YouTube.
Subscribe to Blendedly on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe, watch it, be a part of the conversation.
Yes. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much for having us.
Love you guys. And
meeting you guys.
Everywhere. Love you guys.
Thank you all.
Have a good
to make
evening. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, guys.